Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back to Fallout 76. The servers have just come back online and Atlantic City should be on. So let's check out what actually changed. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through the update notes and then I'm going to validate whether the game itself reflects those changes, right? So we're gonna see exactly what the changes are in actuality as opposed to say on paper. So the first change is that you can now start with an accelerated beginning. So instead of coming out of Vault 76 at level 1, you come out at level 20. As part of the update, the devs have also given us a free weather control station. So it looks like you get one for free that gives you clear weather, so you can get it under the camp section, and it's available under utility here. And it looks like you can also buy a weather station for snow. And there is also another weather station that you should be able to find within the scoreboard itself. But the one for clear weather seems to be free, so let me just get that one. There you go. So just to test the accelerated start, I'm going to create a new character. Let's call him Dishonest Ave. Okay, one of the changes is that you no longer get perk cards over here. You get to choose them towards the end, right? Just before you leave the vault. And here we are.
Goodbye.
And you can still choose to start as a fresh vault dweller. I would recommend this approach for anybody who hasn't been through the quest lines. But if you have been through all the quest lines and everything like that, then there's not much point going through them again. You may as well start with the accelerated start. Okay, so you get to choose from different profiles. And if you view the perks, they're actually not too bad. So evasive is always good, serendipity is always good, traveling pharmacy is pretty good, and you start with some weapon specific perks. That's not bad. Same with here, you start with that, but otherwise pretty similar. So yeah, the major difference seems to be on the weapon specific perks. You get shotgun specific perks, but otherwise pretty much the same. Now this one seems to be slightly different. You get a few more perks that are specialized towards VATs. I think I would personally recommend Commando, because some of those perks will be useful in the endgame as well. Because these perks actually suit a lot of endgame weapons as well. Anyway, let's pick this one. Yep. And as you can see from the backpack, you start with a custom skin. I believe that you also start with a plan. There is a new skin that you can find for the backpack. You also start with the combat rifle plans. And we seem to start with some pretty decent weapons, as well as some armor. So overall, not a bad start. The donation box is here as always, and they've also added more donation boxes to some of the free fast travel locations. It also seems that the accelerated start gives you a whole bunch of icons, so let's unlock them. So I've come back with my main character to the lumber mill over here, south of the vault. That's been taken over by the responders. Yeah, there is a new vendor towards the rear. She sells all the regular stuff, but she also sells a bunch of new skins, including the backpack skin that we spoke about earlier. So those new skins apply to some of the early starting weapons. Here's the Voltec skin, that's the rusted skin, gunmetal. So those are 3 skins that we just bought. They should apply to most of the early starting weapons. And here's the starting Voltec survival skin. You can also speak to this character to get a new daily quest.
We've been clearing out dangerous critters and using the meat to feed people in need. If you could go retrieve the meat from our traps, I will happily compensate you.
Okay, and that's the daily quest. Right, that seems to send you around the forest area. So there you go. It looks like the wolves want to add some meat to the larder. And once you're done, you come back to Lane.
You've recovered the meat from our traps. Just what I wanted to hear.
So that's a quick little quest that new players can do to get some resources. So the new locations on the map are basically small outposts for each of the factions. So we've got one for the Brotherhood of Steel, the Responders are at the mill, there's one for the Blue Ridge Caravan, there's one for the Raiders up here, and there's one for the Settlers. There's also 3 new caves, Organ Cave West, South and North. There is an underground cave system that connects all 3, and one of the daily quests from the responders sends you down here to explore. So if we quickly walk into one of them, basically they're cultist locations, and the cave system is actually fairly extensive. Yep, there's a couple of things going on around here. But yeah, these are cultist locations, and the water is very toxic, by the way. Another little thing to note is that you can find the power armor suit at one of those faction locations. And it also seems that power armor has been made available at level 10. Previously used to be, I think it was 15 or 20, but now it's available at level 10. And you can find one partial suit at one of the faction locations. And speaking of the donation boxes, there's one at Waywoods. There's another one at Flatwoods, right in front of the church. There's one at Foundation. Another one in front of the White Spring Refuge entrance. One at the Atlas Observatory. And the final one is at the crater, where all the workbenches are. So there you go. There's a whole bunch more donation boxes that you can donate to now. Okay, aside from the changes made to the new player experience, there's a number of significant changes made to the game. Let's see if we can't get a single rank perk that's animated. Okay, I just happen to have a number of pack cards that I've not opened. Let's see. Let's see, come on. Yes! Green Thumb is now animated. So yes, that is confirmed. Same with Awareness. Confirmed. And Expert Picklock. Confirmed again, yeah. Definitely seems to be working. Yep, Chemist 2. Okay, that's definitely confirmed. Okay, another big change that's been made is to melee buffs that you get from food. It looks like you simply use one type of food, but you get new variants to choose from. So if we look at Mutant Hound Chops, you can see that it says 100% melee damage, but notice this may be a bug. It says 40% if you go into the inspection mode. Here, 100% melee damage. 154, not sure that's actually working. Not sure that's 100%. That may not be fully functional yet. Okay, let me try glowing meat steaks. That's also 100%. But again, it only shows 40% in the inspection mode. Right, 100%. Yeah, I'm not sure that we're getting 100% buff, because my damage would have been 120 something. Could be off the base damage. I'll have to check that later. And another one that people have been looking forward to is this one. Doesn't look like much, but all the laser damage and all the flamer damage that people have been complaining about should be adjusted downwards. So we'll check that out quickly. Alright, so I walked into a silo. Normally the lasers would completely destroy me. Hello, please shoot me, bro. Hello, shoot me. Okay, confirmed. I did not instantly die. I did not instantly die. Yes, yes, confirmed. Confirmed, baby. Yes, finally. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, confirmed. You still take some damage, but yeah, it's not as deadly as it used to be. And just to finish that off, at the White Spring Mall you can now find an ammo storage box, together with a couple of med and ammo vendors. But yes, the big feature will be the ammo storage box. There seems to be a whole bunch of visual bug fixes, like names, but there are some changes that affect gameplay as well. So for example, thrown weapons affect resilient enemies again, which is a much missed feature, I think. Really makes thrown weapons much more useful than they used to be. Now this is interesting. It looks like all of those legendary effects that cause damage from melee attacks seem to stack now. It's not a massive amount of damage, but it's certainly better than 100 damage, right? Aha, and it looks like melee has had its power attack damage issue fixed. Gonna have to test that. Okay, so here we are at West Tech. Let me do a quick power attack.
So weak.
226. 130, yes. That's doing a lot more damage, yes. 178, 103, yeah. So the power attacks are definitely working correctly now. Definitely making a difference. Another really meaningful change, something that I've been really hoping would happen, is that apparently we can now heal while we're using a weapon that has a wind up and a wind down. And also, apparently you don't use up AP when you go into VATS in power armor. Okay, now I'm in power armor and I've equipped a Gatling plasma, so that's a spin-up weapon, right? Okay, so I've taken off dodgy. Let's go into VATS. Now AP, it is reducing, not by much, but it's slowly trickling down. The fusion core does not seem to be going down. Okay, let me spin up the weapon. Yes, and I can heal while the weapon is still spinning. Now let's fire and heal. Yes, so the gun was still spinning, but I was able to heal. Now let me see if I can heal while I'm firing. Yes, I can heal while I'm firing. Excellent. But let's shoot in that. Yeah, that definitely wears down your fusion core. But just being VATS does not. You do lose AP very, very slowly, but it doesn't look like you actually lose the fusion core. Excellent. That actually makes weapons like the Gatling Plasma much more viable now. Another small improvement is that black powder rifles now get the correct explosive legendary mod. So up to now they were getting the shotgun version, which was about 3% of the normal weapon's damage, but it should have been 20% of the weapon's damage. So that should be fixed. I'm gonna have to double check that, but I don't think I have an explosive legendary. Other than that, it doesn't look like there's any major significant changes, although I did notice something really interesting. In the PTS, bloody weapons were actually super powerful, as well as grenades being super powerful, as I covered back in October. I don't believe that the changes in the PTS came over, because in the PTS this was like 780 something, just under 800. So whatever talk there was about bloody now being multiplicative does not seem to apply. So this is pretty much doing the same damage as it used to do before. So no changes basically, no changes to weapons. But another thing that I did notice, damage over time is now affected by weapons legendary. So when I tested the grenades in the PTS back in October, the grenade damage and the damage over time for the grenades was affected by weapons legendary star, so bloody, aristocrats and whatnot. It was also affected by whether you had a prime receiver and if you had an explosive legendary second star. It was also affected by any science perks and whatnot, right? So your weapon's first legendary star affecting the damage of grenades came over on the October 10 patch, so that's been the case up to now. But the newest update that we got just now also makes them affect the damage over time of grenades. So for example, floater flamer grenades are now pretty powerful. So the damage over time is now quite significant if you've got the right weapon and the right grenades. So for example, pulse grenades now actually do more damage over time. Same with the poison grenades. But once again, it's only the first star affecting the damage. So if I swap over to a bloody pepper shaker, so in other words no explosive damage, I'm getting the same damage. So the damage is not affected by whether the weapon is explosive or not. Same with prime receivers. Only the first star affects it, but now with the latest update, it also affects damage over time. So if I quickly swap over to the Holy Fire, now you can see that the damage over time has dropped quite a lot. Same with this. Same with that. That was like 800, 900. So now damage over time can be quite significant. Actually, no, let me test this out. Let's chuck a poison grenade. Okay. 177. Okay, not a massive amount. It is still affected by the poison. Yeah, not a huge amount. It is more noticeable, but not hugely. Yeah, the Hound... I think the Hound will die from damage over time. Yeah, the Hound's gone. The Champion... yeah, not an amazing amount. Decent, but not amazing. So unfortunately, damage over time is still not massive. Oh, my weapon broke. Oops. Run! Flee for your life! So there you are. It looks like the patch has polished things quite a bit. I think the two biggest changes will be the reduction of the flamer and laser damage from robots, as well as the ability to heal while using up a spinning weapon. That may not seem like much, but the inability to heal while you were spinning up and down was actually quite a drawback. That will make those weapons much more useful now. Anyway, thank you very much, take care and enjoy the new update.